So if you guys have seen the podcast before, you might know how it goes. I do it in like 3 different sections. I'll do this for talking to you. Okay, cool. You just basically go through your story. You go beginning of your life, and then I'll probably ask you two how you met, finally got together. And then we talk about what you guys do with, jobs and with the church and things like that. And then we talk about what you guys have planned for the future. And then more like a life lesson thing to the audience where if they want to get involved in their church, some of the things that they can do and what are some of the things you guys learned as well. So let's get it started. Start with Tyree. Let's go. Where are you from? Where were you born?
I'm from Lemoore, California. I was born in Fresno.
Fancy.
Yeah, really fancy. What did you want to go with?
Just where you're from, where you're born?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from Lemoore.
Okay.
Pretty much raised in Lemoore. I moved away for a year, my freshman year of college, but yeah.
Okay. Manny, what about you? Where are you from?
My name is Mauricio, going by Manny. I'm from here in Hanford. I was born in Hanford, raised in Avenel until I was 8, then moved from there to here in Hanford, and pretty much been here in Hanford most of my life.
Okay, cool. So how was it in Avenel?
From what I remember, it was really nice. It was really cool, really chill. We left right before my brother and I could be in gangs, which is really an issue in Avenel. So he was in junior high, I was in 3rd grade, he was in 7th grade. So we left right before all that happened. So it was good for us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll fast forward a little bit now, they have a police station there now. Have you been back there to, kind of see how things are over there since that?
So I actually work at the state prison in Avenel. So I drive by it every weekday now. But we've gone before just to go eat some tacos. They have great tacos there.
Yeah.
So I have family who's there, so I have friends who are there. So I do go visit every now and then. And I don't know, I think it's come up a little bit. There's still gangs and drugs, but there's also a Dollar General and more gas stations. So
cool.
A cafe. They have a cute cafe out there.
And a nice cafe, actually. Yeah.
Is that the one? Is that the one next to that one Mexican spot?
All of that.
Yeah.
Not like what is that? I don't even remember what it's called anymore. Just forget I said it. Maybe it'll come to me.
There is a cool cafe spot called the Gallery.
The Gallery,
which is kind of in the downtown, next
to the movie theater.
Downtown.
Yes.
Next to the movie theater. Okay, I've seen that one then. I've seen that one. Yeah.
Actually, the theater is amazing. It's so classy in there.
I haven't been inside.
No, it's really nice. It's like it's almost like if you're on a luxury cruise ship, but there's like old scenery, old tiles. It's just really nice, and you go outside and you're like, oh,
that's cool.
I'm silly now.
Okay.
It's really beautiful in there for sure.
Awesome. And where did y'all go to school at?
I went to King's Christian. I grew up with a single mom, so my mom worked like crazy, but she sent me and my brother to King's Christian by herself. I worked a lot of overtimes, and then my junior year of high school, we just felt led, my mom and I, from the Lord, to transfer to Lemoore High. I went there, and then graduated from Lemoore High, and then I went back to Christian University, ironically, and did my freshman year of college there in Orange County.
Okay, cool. What was the university at?
Vanguard University of Southern California in Costa Mesa.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Orange County, Costa Mesa.
What'd you study?
My major is psychology, my minor is sociology and intergenerational studies. So I finished at Columbia College on base. So I paid cash most of my schooling. So I only have like $3,000 in school debt, praise God.
That's awesome.
As of right now. So I just have, it's kind of embarrassing. So I graduated, in 2017? I walked the line?
Yeah.
They had me walk the line, encouraged me to walk the line, but I was trying to pay cash for school. So I didn't want to pull any loans out. So I still have 3 classes left, I think, for my bachelor's. So technically it says I've completed, but it's not, I don't have my degree in hand yet. So my transcripts, I can't really go anywhere else.
Got it.
yeah, so I'm gonna finish that in the next few months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have a huge party.
I know, another one. Oh my goodness.
What do you want to do with that degree?
Yeah, so I want to. I believe I'm a first generation student, kind of, sort of. My mom dropped out of high school when she was young, and she got her GED, and she did cosmetology school for a couple years, and then she worked for the department in Avenal. She was a correction officer for 26 years. So my mom's amazing. So she graduated the day before her 50th birthday, which is not common because like she didn't have a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, so for her to be retired.
Yeah.
No, for her to be retired for the last 5 years, the day before her 50th birthday, to me that's everything because it's like us, we're not going to get retired till like 60 or like in our early 60s. And my mom here, no degree. I mean, she has her GED, but no college education. Single mom of 2, sent us to a private school. We were probably ungrateful at the time, and she just rocked it, man. She just killed it. But all that to say is, I want to work like in the first generation department for students as an academic advisor. So I want to kind of start with the Department of Rehabilitation.
Okay.
They'll look into paying. You could get a grant for them to pay for your school and for your master's. So I'm trying to do it as debt free as possible.
Got it.
I would work for the state first, and then it's more flexible, so I could work for universities or community colleges is where it's at for me personally, just because that's kind of where it starts. Like people think, oh, I want to leave the valley and just go straight to a 4-year university, and it's like you don't have to do that, friend. Like save your money, because a lot of people are like, let's just get a loan, do whatever you have to do, and then you're in debt, all this money. So my friends, they were like, you only have $3,000 in school debt, and you only have 2 or 3 classes left. They're like, just take out the loan and finish it. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. Like, we can pay that off easy, but it's intimidating taking out a school loan.
Yeah.
So, but like, praise God, I'm not in debt so much. But it's definitely going to take a drastic journey for your master's. So I want to become a counselor. That's
awesome.
For students with disabilities specifically. So I also got my AA. I have 2 AAs and a certificate in American Sign Language interpreting. So the preparation program for Fresno City. So yeah, we'll see what the Lord has for that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Manny, what about yourself?
For schooling?
Yes.
Graduated from Hanford West 2007. Yeah. Pretty cool. I left with the intention to go to Biola University. That didn't transpire though, and big picture that was for the best. But that following fall semester 2007, I went to West Hills Community College in Lemoore. I did a few classes there. In December, I got a call from this person from the Institute of Technology in Clovis, just talking about their network support technician program. So I did that in January. But that was like a quick 9-month course. So I went there, we graduated or finished October 2008. And since then I've just had a lot of odds and ends jobs. I've had a lot of jobs. I think I have a Word file that has, I think I'm currently on my 16th job right now, which is kind of crazy. But in 2013, I decided to go to finish my AA, which I did. I'm from COS, or College of Sequoias. Finished in 2015, just taking classes here and there to start my bachelor's. I don't have my bachelor's, but I do have my associates in arts and humanities, which means nothing to me, but that's what that's what it says. Yeah, I think I just I do want to finish my bachelor's. I think career-wise, long term, I've been telling Tyree, like, it'd be nice to work for an airline. That way we can just fly anywhere for free. So my current career is in IT. It's in information technology, and if I get to work in IT for any airline, that'd be really great to be able to fly anywhere.
Okay.
For free.
Awesome.
But, so initially, he had told me, I thought it was pretty cool, he wanted to go to Biola to become a pastor.
Yes, yes. So
that didn't
that's
work
the
out.
whole thing. Yeah. So I guess currently I have two jobs. I'm an IT specialist at a state prison in Avenel, as I mentioned before. I'm also part time. I'm the junior high pastor at Cornelia Church here in Hanford. So as Tyree mentioned, I initially wanted to go to Biola in 2007 to be a youth pastor. The reason I didn't go through with it was because it's incredibly expensive, because it's a private college or university, and it's like, for me it was going to be, if I'm not mistaken, like $25,000 a year, and I had to be there at least 4 years. So if I were to graduate, I would accumulate probably around $100,000.
Which is why I left Vanguard. But I love Vanguard.
It's they're great campuses, great, like, I'm not trying to bash them, but for my family's financial status, we just couldn't do it. But as Tyree mentioned, I was kind of bummed out, kind of like, well, I want to go to school to be a pastor, so it's kind of like, God, like, I can't be a pastor in this sense, right? Well, we get married 2017, and in September, and that October, the lead pastor at the time approaches me and just says, "Hey, we're looking into a new junior high pastor. Would you be interested in that position?" I was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that sounds cool. I mean, we've been volunteering in youth for years, easily, like around 10 years each. But so big picture, I was bummed out about something I couldn't do 10 years ago, or in 2007 and 2017. The job is offered to me. So 2007, I'm bummed out because I couldn't do something, but in all honesty, I wasn't ready for that job. But now, 2017, 10 years later, when I feel God has made me ready for that job, the job gets offered to me, I didn't have to go get it. Somebody said, "Hey, here's the job if you want it." So I think that's something that a young mind might not see and might not understand, but it's like, things down the road just change, and things happen for a reason, for sure.
It's like that's one of those times where God says, not no, but not yet.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got that word last year.
Yeah, we did.
Oh my goodness.
Very true.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It is cool. I mean, I don't know how he does it. He works full time for the state and part time as a youth pastor. So I don't know how he does it, but it's
drugs.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think so.
We were all waiting for that Manny humor to kick in.
Just Tylenol.
Got it.
Oh my goodness.
That's about it.
Awesome.
I also like to joke around a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so,
I've known you for a little bit of time, so I know. Let's talk about these young adult nights. You started last year?
No, young adult.
Or did I just start going to them last year?
You just started going to them last year, yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think it was 2017. I want to say no.
No, it was later than that because a couple, they have been married for like 3 years now. They've been married a little bit longer than us, and they went to our young adult night. So I'd probably say like 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
About like 2015.
Okay.
So about 5 years ago, because we started doing it as a couple. We actually had wanted to do. It was on my heart to do a young adults group, and then we had talked about like, oh, let's do a journey group together. And so then we just kind of started having people at my parents' house. Every like event we would do like, hey guys, we're gonna have a Super Bowl party. Let's get together. Let's have a Super Bowl party. And then in 2015, I want to say, because we have a couple that got married, that met there and got married. So it's about 5 years, but the Lord's just like progressing it. So now we're gonna have it like twice a month, and we have events lined up, and we have a conference coming up this year. So we've had a conference before, Illuminate conference, but we're gonna add that, and then some. So super excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that conference?
Yeah. So it's going. We don't have a specific name yet, do we?
I don't think so.
I think it's just.
I think it's just Illuminate.
I think it's just the Illuminate conference.
I think so.
We haven't decided on the name yet, but our Impact is having a conference for 3 days, and then we're going to kind of piggyback off of that. So we're going to have a speaker that's going to be there as well, and that's in July or Yeah, in July. And so we're super stoked about that. So we have a speaker. It's just going to be a one-night conference for our young adults, just to test the waters. So we're super stoked. We're planning on that right now. So it's just going to be very interesting. I don't know, it's going to be amazing. I don't know. We're not sure what to expect yet, but it'll be a first year doing it. So
yeah.
I mean, I think in this area especially, there's not enough, I guess, events for young adults that don't incorporate partying or drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing really that has been placed on. Sorry, this event has been placed on Tyree's heart, like this group, this age gap, is because there just isn't anything for that age range. So having this event is awesome. As you mentioned, we're going to have events twice a month. This is going to be awesome as well. It's just really to get that age group to have an option other than just let's go somewhere else today, or let's drink, or let's party. Like
to have community, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people think like, and I experienced this, is like leaving the valley is what you have to do in order to have fun.
Yeah.
And you can leave the valley, but you can also leave the valley with people that you hang out with, that you can kick it with. You guys go on hikes, go camping. We can do all these things and still do it here, or we can do it there. Like, we live in the Central Valley. Like, that's amazing. So we live 2 hours from everything, an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 4 or 5. If you go to Oregon, we could drive 8 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like we just live by everything. And
nothing's not too far.
It's not. And so that's the fun part about it, is like, man, let's enjoy where we're at. And even if it's just for a season, because we have young adults coming in and out all the time. Like, I just met with someone before I met with you. We're really good friends now. They moved to Arizona, and they were our young adults 6 years ago. So those relationships continue, and they've kind of surpassed the young adult age a little bit. They're still young adults. They're just older young adults, and so it's just exciting to just see that. You know what? Hey, I'm in town for 2 days. Like, can we get together and get coffee, even if it's for an hour? So I think that to me is just more than anything. They're coming home to visit, but they want to see me, or they want to see us, or they know they have people here.
Yeah.
And so no matter where they're at, we're one call away. Hey, we just need prayer, or we just need to laugh. Like, we're gonna be here for the weekend. Can we come hang out and just kick it and play a board game, or like whatever? Just hang out, go to dinner.
Yeah.
So I think to me that's the most rewarding part, is like knowing that you can come home and there's still things to do, and there's still people to see in your community, and people are still here 6-7 years later. So
when I first heard about the young adult stuff, I was stoked, because like you just said earlier, there's not really anything for that age group. What is it, 19 to 30?
26 now, but
26?
Yeah, it was
Okay. So that age group, just like you said, once you're 18 usually, maybe even younger than that, you're just kind of, all right, go to service now, go to grown-up service, right? And so I was stoked. I was like, oh yes, it's like impact all over again, you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
And I was really excited. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so you guys should definitely, if you're in that age group, go check it out, because it'll get you on fire for God, because I feel like within that age group as well, when they're just kind of pushed out to the grown-up service, I don't know, just sometimes they just kind of, I don't know, maybe lose their light a little bit for God, and they still maybe not know what to do, and it's awesome that you guys are running that and stuff like that. So
we're super stoked to see like what's happening in the valley. You know what I mean? Like our Koinonia's theme this year is igniting contagious faith, and like what you said is like it makes you want to do more. And even if that's like, I tell people a lot, like they're like, man, once you get married or once you have a kid, it's over. And I'm like, listen, that's just the beginning, man. Like it's fun. Like me and Manny, we did so much, and maybe it was through missions. Like I've been on mission trips in a different country by myself, and I've traveled by myself. But people need that contagious faith, that ignition to be like, oh, there's more. There's more, and I can do more, and I can still be here and still be there. Like it's amazing to be able to be like, hey, we're connected. I'm connected to people in Haiti. I'm connected to people in Costa Rica. He's connected to people in Taiwan. Like our people are all over the world. So it's just like, there's more. Yes, there's more to the Central Valley, but we can bring that contagiousness, that excitement, that zest for life that the Lord has given us, and utilize that in the capacity that we're in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're only stuck here if you're stuck eventually. You know, we don't have to be stuck. And so like for us, people are like, man, you know, someone had said, you know, I think you are like fine with where you're at. And I'm like, yeah, I'm content, but I'm never gonna be. There's always gonna be doors that the Lord's gonna open to do more.
Yeah, the next thing.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like once we all wait for the next thing, and then once we get that thing, we waited so long that we're like, oh, okay, I'm ready for the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like enjoy that, enjoy that moment, enjoy that time, enjoy that season, and fully and embrace it. And so I'm super excited for the young adults. It's gonna be amazing this year. I just can't wait to see what the Lord has for young adults. It's gonna be contagious. It's gonna be igniting. So I just can't wait. I'm super excited. Yeah.
So like you just said, you said they're already ready for the next thing. I asked when I interviewed Candace, shout out to Candace.
Shout out, girl. That's my homie.
That's my homie too. Is that your homie?
For life. Or we laugh.
Awesome. Okay. So I asked a similar question to Candace. We're living in a time where everything comes almost immediately now. Do you think because of that, it's having also that effect, like what you just said?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think we live in an age where, of course, if you want it, like you can get it now. I've often heard that we compare like our lives, of course, with others, but we compare our like behind the scenes with someone's highlight reel. So it's like if you post something on Instagram, for example, it's like that person who posted it put time and effort into like curating that photo, into that time. And if you're like, you know, doing something minuscule, it's like, oh man, well they're living life. Meanwhile, I'm over here in the rut or I'm stuck or whatever, you know. But what you don't see is like any hardship that they've gone through, any horrible situations that they had to persevere through in order to get to where they are. Yeah. So I think it's very common to even like put yourself down because you're only comparing yourself to somebody's best. But what you don't see is their worst. And I think the point of community is to understanding that we all have worst, that we all have bad days, and if we only talk to each other and we're doing great and awesome all the time, well, someone's going to be like, well, I'm not doing good or awesome, so I need to be good, and then I'm able to hang out with these people because they're always great. It's like, no, like we live life and we have bad days and bad things happen all the time, but as well as good, you know. So I think it's important to understand that people post what they want you to see. But everybody struggles. Everybody has to, in the sense of put the work in to get to where they want to be who they want to be, and that is never immediate. Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like, for me, anyways, I totally agree with that. I feel like we live in a Amazon Prime. That's our Amazon Prime. 2-day shipping. Oh, you're gonna wait 3 days? No. I can do same day. You know, just buy something for $35 and over, and I'll do same day shipping. You know. So and I fall subject to that. But I have lately. I've been getting a lot of people like, oh, how are you doing? Because they found out I'm pregnant, or they found out we bought a house, or all these different things. And I'm like, look, friend, I don't post in real time. You know what I mean? So I post when I feel ready to post, or I post. I'm not gonna ever post anything negative about our relationship. Or negative about mine and my friendships. If we have things going on, if we have issues or tips, because everybody does. You know, relationships are hard. Married, single, engaged, dating, friendships, relationships take work. So people see, oh man, they have all these friends and they're hanging out and doing all these things and going places, and it's like, yeah, it is. But I'm never gonna down Manny. I'm never gonna tell you, hey, we had this fight tonight. I'm not gonna put I'm not, because it's not just my business anymore. It's now it's his business. And so I feel like if you take that perspective and kind of change it, like, okay, not everybody needs to know everything. And when I have people like, hey, I saw that you posted this. I want to know more. And for me, I feel like that's more important. I don't need to post just the good, but I'm not gonna post negative because the world just it's an ugly world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We already live in a time where people are struggling, struggling with feeling lonely and feeling not good enough, or feeling we're going off of feelings. So it's all like I'm by myself, I'm alone, I'm isolated, and no friend. Like we're here, and like you said, a highlight reel. I think that was a perfect example. Is like you're only seeing my highlight reel. You're only seeing oh, they went out. I don't know, went out tonight, and I'm at home by myself. No, no, you're not. And so I think culture is super fast paced. It can be scary because you're alone. Like if you feel alone, it's not fun. And so I think that culture definitely, we're trying to change culture. As I see it with, especially, what is it, Gen Z?
Yeah.
Are you a Gen Z?
I'm a Gen Z.
Gen Z, okay. And that's what I appreciate about Gen Z is like, you guys are changing that culture. Like we're millennials, so just changing that culture of being like, you know what, we're gonna post. And I feel like maybe like millennials, I feel like understand, hey, they're just posting, like it's normal, it's social media. But like my parents, I don't know what our parents are. Something older than us, but I don't know what they are.
Boomers.
I don't think so.
I thought that was one step under boomers.
Yeah.
Step under, I forget, is a Y.
Maybe, I don't know. They're not the older generation, but they're like not us. They're kind of in the middle.
They're old.
They're older, yeah. but
they're not old. They're just older.
They're wiser.
Wiser.
Yeah, a little more gray hair. But I think they don't really understand that. Like, why are they posting all their business? But it's like, you can create so much community, and you can create so much life when you feel like you have nothing. Like, you can utilize that and reach out to people and make friends. But with Gen Z, I feel like there's a culture shift of saying, like, you know, I'm gonna post the real. I'm gonna post what's going on, what's happening. I'm gonna keep it 100 and show them, like, you know what, life is not perfect. You're struggling with mental health. Let's talk about this. And you're utilizing, and that's what I appreciate about you. I want to do a podcast. I want to do these things, right? But you're just doing it, and that's what I appreciate. Is like, you know what? You're like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm just gonna make it happen. You know, and so, or you know, you're gonna ask questions because this is obviously the thing, a part of it. But as far as just doing it, you're just gonna make it happen, and you're I don't know how your perspective is, but you're embracing that. You're I don't know if you know the quote by Marianne Williamson, but she says, what is your deepest fear? And your deepest fears is that you're inadequate, but it's also that you're scared to shine that light and open that door for other people to shine their light. So I feel like with Gen Z, that's what you guys are doing. You're empowering, you're utilizing you're utilizing
like tools.
The tools, not the tools, but like you're utilizing what you have, and you're connecting it to something that seems minuscule. So older people than millennials think, it's just social media. Like, no, it's not just social media. You're connecting people that have struggle with mental health. You're connecting people that struggle with loneliness, with suicidal thoughts, with serious, deep things, and you're embracing that to be open and showing people, like, hey, you know what? I live in the valley, and I'm a young adult, and I'm doing it, and I'm enjoying where I'm at, and I'm going to embrace the Central Valley, even. You know, so you're utilizing the resources that you have as a Gen Z, and I feel like that opens the door for millennials and the millennials' parents, whatever generation they are, you know, and to do more. So all that to say is, like, there's a paradigm shift going on culturally with the Amazon Prime generation, I guess, which includes us. Like, we're included with Gen Z. Like, I like things and I like them quick, and I like to know things quick. So, yeah.
It's crazy because they're just getting quicker too.
So quick.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Like, Amazon's got like drones testing out now, and
crazy.
Or that 5G coming out.
5G, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask something I kind of forgot, but I have a great editor, so I'm gonna add to what you were saying. I talked about it a little bit in my last podcast. I definitely see a lot more of my generation, the Gen Zers, I say like it's my generation, it's our generation, Gen Zers making like, we talked about making a decision what you can do with, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever. Some people made that decision to utilize it as their tools to connect, to to share it in the good ways, and some people are making that decision to do it in the bad way. And yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to add. So what are some of your future plans? Whether it's, I know you already talked about it a little bit, but let's go back into what you're doing for church. What are some of your goals for that?
Also, for me, with church specifically, or just in general?
Like ministry?
Ministry.
Some plans that I have with the ministry, which is junior high. I felt kind of convicted to kind of teach more from the Bible per se. I teach junior hires pretty often, but I sometimes I only use like a verse and then kind of like a story to go along with it. But I kind of feel, or at least this year, kind of feel more convicted to read more from the Bible. Because the Bible, even though it's like incredibly old, it has a lot of relatable stories. Only because it's not like because we have camels and donkeys and all that kind of stuff and chariots, but what we have is emotions, and we have problems, and we have a need to have things solved and fixed. And I think a lot of people in the Bible have had those same issues as far as like dealing with like loneliness or depression or with pride or with anger. So I think trying to connect current issues and emotions to what God has already done or said about those same situations is a very good way for somebody to see the Bible not just as some old book that people read, but as this book where God is speaking to his people, and he's already spoken. This is what he said, and he's as he continues to speak today. It'll help the reader understand God's voice and God's voice in their life and how he speaks to them. So I think just taking that approach and teaching it to junior hires at a young age is only beneficial to them and their walk as they go to high school and into adulthood and on. So that's probably my main focus in ministry this year. And then also just to assist with the young adults and with that age group, and to assist Tyree, who's the lead of that, along with her goals and desires and plans.
Awesome.
So for me in ministry, I feel like for me, the Lord has called me to eventually go to the school of ministry, which kind of just gives you more of an in-depth look in biblical knowledge, things that I don't really like. I'm not a fan of history. Kind of get bored really easily. But I think it's important. It's like Manny was talking about, like people are going through and feeling lonely, and connecting that back to the Bible, because we are doing this thing called the 30-day shred, where we read the Bible in 30 days, and so we just got done with like Job, and Job, and I think in Job it is, so don't quote me. In Job, they talk about he's just so depressed, and he's like, I'm alone and I'm lonely. And I was just like, Lord, like this is what we're going through nowadays. Like people are feeling alone and worthless and lonely and like not connected. And is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so so I just feel like that, to me, that right now, mental health and everything that comes along with that, which can be, severe, or it can just be harbored, and to empower young adults to be able to figure out life, not even figure it out, just walk life and do life with them, is my goal. So I have myself and 2 other people, and Manny, are just like focusing on strategically planning something for young adults, like you said, to transition from when they graduate from high school, catch them right then, because it's like, you have a place, you have a home, and it's not necessarily the church, because we the church can be anywhere, right? So the church can be at the park, underneath an awning. That can be a church, you know what I mean? Or it can be a building or a house. So my hope is to connect the young adults this year, and like I said, ignite that faith to want to be back connected back to the church, because the church is the people. The church is you and I, him. Like, that's where we're at. That's where we're at in life right now. And so social media is great, but I think young adults right now are needing more.
Yeah.
They're needing more, and we are not allowing space, or maybe we are allowing space. We're trying to navigate what kind of space that looks like, I think, more than anything. So I'm just working with our local church to find that space for young adults, and not necessarily a physical space, but just a place in the Central Valley to be like, hey, I can go to the church, I can receive from the Lord no matter where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if that's in a house for a journey group, if that's at the park, if that's going hiking, if that's serving together on a weekly basis, that is my hope. So just getting together, and we're having a conference, and so this year's goals for young adults, specifically for me, is I'm stepping kind of back a little bit from youth. I'm only going to be attending twice a month, and so the other 2 Wednesdays a month will be focused just for young adults. So making sure that we have opportunities here that aren't just I don't know, like where you just sit and you listen to the word. You are engaged in the word, and getting excited from the word, and passion. So to see that, and then there's a sign at Koinonia when you're driving out, and it says, "Take me with you," and it says Jesus. You know what I mean? So taking Jesus with us, and if that's going on mission trips, if that's serving in Fresno, if that's serving in Hanford or Lemoore, wherever we're going, you know, it can be anywhere in the world, anywhere in the Central Valley, wherever we're going, we're taking the Lord with us, and we're igniting other people and just causing that ripple effect to continue. So just creating more spaces and places and things to do that's still connected to the church, which is us, which is the people. So connecting the church to the word, that's my goal this year. So we have like a seminar coming up in November, like between September and November, and the conference in July, and then we're going to start doing like Friday night hangouts twice a month, and then during the summer, different events during the summer. So just super excited to get the ball rolling, and thankful for the team that we have been blessed with to do that. So
that's awesome.
That's my goal in ministry right now.
And I feel like
that faith further.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like all that's really important, but for anyone to be, like you've been saying, being ignited, is that a word, ignited?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And it's just important right now, especially in this time. If you were watching the news, I mean, things are getting kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I recently kind of stopped watching the news because it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
But God's gonna come soon.
Yes.
And I'm sure He'd like to take everyone. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just kind of wanted to add right there.
Yeah.
I think it's just really important right now.
You know, and that's how I feel too. Is like, and when I went to Haiti, I've been to Haiti a couple of times, but each time the first time that I came back, I was just wrecked. My heart was wrecked. My mind was wrecked. Everything I just like, what is life right now? You know, because out there, they told me when you go back home, you need to find a one-liner for people and to give, because you can't. Your heart, it's going to be too much unloading on people. And so that was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And my one-liner when I came back was, "There's joy and hope in a place that I would have never expected to be joy and hope." And in America, we need that hope. We need that joy. And so, like you said, connecting that to the Lord, because times are crazy, you know, and it's not going to stop. Times are going to continue to be crazy, because that's the world that we live in right now. But to be able to create a space where, you know, I'm going to empower others, like what you're doing right now. You're empowering so many people. And so I think that is just, it's a beautiful thing. And so hope and joy, I think, is just what we need right now.
For sure. We need to love on each other.
Yes. Don't feel lonely or feel like you don't have a place. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just to make sure you're known. Like we see you.
Yeah.
You know? No matter who you are.
Yeah. there's one more question I kind of want to ask. It's going to lead us into kind of like our closing. It's not really, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a question. I want you to tell me about a time where one of your youth people, whether it's a youth or a young adult, they've impacted you personally. And you don't have to name any specific names, but.
Yeah. Well, I feel like of a lot.
I mean, I feel like it's like it happens pretty often, but not so much like one stands out. At least not at the moment. I mean, honestly, I think it's kind of that saying that like if you're going to teach somebody, like you have to know what you're teaching in a sense. Because I feel like pretty often I can like go to church on a Wednesday and I can teach the kids about like how God is faithful, but then like the next day I could be stressing out over a situation, and I'm like, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this, and it's like didn't I just teach kids that God is capable of doing anything, and here I am stressing out like about something that really in the big picture isn't that big a deal. So I think especially being in a position where like I'm teaching people about God and about who He is and what the Bible says, it pushes me to not only just to learn it, to teach it, but to learn it and to live it out. And that's what I teach, is kind of like my experience is not so much like this is what the Bible says God does. Like, no, this is what actually God did, and He also did it here in this story. So when we read the story, honestly, it's been pretty cool seeing some youth kids. I say youth kids, they're not kids, but seeing youth. Be young adults now. Like I can think of two, just Albert and Nina Gomez, or people who like I was their leader when they were in high school, and it's just cool to see them mature and to grow, but more so to just like be able to pray with them. Not so much more of a like, hey Alfred, I'm still your teacher or your mentor. It's like I ask him for advice or for guidance or for prayer, because it's like, again, we're in this together. Mm-hmm. It's not like because I'm older, I know more than somebody, therefore I'm worth more. It's like, no, like we each have experiences, we each have things that we go through, so we each have things to bring to the table in a sense. So so any past experiences are not like negated because it's like, well, I'm older or I'm wiser. Like, no, like everybody has a voice, everybody has a story, and we all have something to say. And I think it's just awesome to be able to I guess to have that, to go from the relationship of like mentor student to just like we're in this together now. Like we're equals, really, So I think that's probably the biggest thing. And then like I follow some of our old students like on Facebook or on Instagram, and it's cool to see them doing well.
Yeah.
It's good to see them living life, and there's frustrations, of course, but it's good to see that their faith is still there, which is really awesome to see, because even their story inspires me today, and I'm 30 years old, and they're a lot younger, so.
Yeah, I have. She's not really my young adult. Well, I wouldn't say like a young adult student or a young adult in our group, but she, her name's Tashoni, and she's just phenomenal. I just texted her the other day, and I'm just like I'm so proud of all of our youth kids, because I feel like, I think that's what inspired me to invest in young adults, because I feel like I've seen them in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's where my heart has been the last however many years I've been doing young impact, transition to their young adults. Like, we are in our 20s together, I'm 28, so we're still we're young adults together, so it's just crazy to see that. And Tashoni, she's phenomenal. It's just good to see her and so many other youth, junior hires as adults now impacting. That's what we're called, is impact. Mm-hmm. So get to leave that mark and impact, other people. She's moved to Arizona, and she's just all for her Native American community, and I'm so for that. I just love what her and her boyfriend Dayami, like they impact so many other people, and so much so that they're traveling the world talking to other tribes and bringing awareness to other cultures in America to say, hey, we're here. And to me, that to get to see that and get to be a part of their lives, it's not on a daily basis, but we get to see each other and encounter each other and talk. And I don't know, she's in her sophomore year or junior year of college, so however long that is, since she was a 6th, 7th, and 8th grader, that is someone who it's just the first person I think of.
Yeah.
But there's students like you know, you were an 8th grader when I came in, and so it's just exciting to get to see all the things that you guys are doing, and we're not far in age, you know what I mean? I'm getting older, but you know, we're still close. So
You're wiser.
Lord willing, eventually. I don't know about wiser, but definitely trying to still receive that. But yeah, Tishoni is just someone that amazes me on a daily basis. Just getting to see her advocacy or activism for her community and for other people as well, embracing other people of color and making awareness for people who don't know or aren't aware. Yeah. So she's someone that has impacted me.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna start wrapping things up. Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say, I think like times as this, you know, like if we name or that's kind of like when you get I guess it's kind of a glimpse of the big picture, and you kind of make it, or you kind of see that it's worthwhile. And it's like for example, where we serve is in youth and young adults. Like for youth group, that's every Wednesday, like all year. Yeah. At least probably a 2.5 to 3 hour commitment every Wednesday, and that's if you're, you know, I mean it's I say that because it's like it takes a lot of time out of your schedule, out of your, you know, like you can be doing something else. Like I would rather be napping or playing a game or, you know, or whatever, right? But we're not always called to do what's convenient to us. We're called to do whatever God's work is in our lives. Yeah. And I feel like, again, a lot of times it's like, well, God, you told me to do something and I did it, but I don't see a reward or I didn't like it. And it's like, well, I'm not going to do it again because it didn't feel right, or I don't see what the result is. But that's where being patient once again comes in, where it's not going to be like a two-day shipping thing where it's like God says to do something and you do it and he's like, okay, cool, here's your reward or here's whatever, you know. Because honestly, I've seen some youth kids go off the deep end per se, where they just do their own thing, and honestly, you know, if that's what they want to do, then that's fine. That's how you find out what worked for you, and that's how you find out what God has for you. But at the same time, it's like for those few who I guess kind of got the message, you know, that they follow God and they get it for themselves. Seeing those few in action today, like that's what makes it worthwhile. You know, like all those Wednesdays when I was too tired or I was sleepy or whatever, it's like I was like, I'm glad I was there, because even if I was just there and I maybe had a bad attitude or I just wasn't there mentally, it's like to that youth, that meant everything to them that I was there. You know, it's like just doing my part, playing my role per se. So it just goes to show that you know, trees take a long time to grow. Yeah. And if you water it and you don't see it like 2 feet taller the next day, it's like, well, hey, it's broken. Like, no, it's just like good things take time. Yeah. And I think youth, or honestly serving in any capacity, is going to teach you that good things take time. Yeah. Like if you join a choir and you want to sing and you suck at first, you just keep practicing time and time again, because good things take time. It just goes to show that God knows what He's doing.
Bamboo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you water the ground wherever you put the seed for like years and years, and nothing will show for years, and then all of a sudden,
All of a sudden it just springs up. What the heck?
yeah,
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it tastes great.
I haven't tried it.
I've never tried
I was like, okay,
That's what. Is it pandas or koalas that eat it? Pandas.
Both?
The koalas eat eucalyptus.
no idea.
I don't know, man.
Either. Either way.
Okay. There's one specific question I always ask at the end now, ever since episode 10. How do you guys want to be remembered as?
Oh man.
I'd say for me, hopefully somebody who followed God, regardless of what it cost him.
Okay.
Like, because honestly, like every day I just pray that I know that God is with me, and I know, or that God knows that I'm with Him in a sense. Because as long as it's me and Him, then everything else falls into place, you know. So I just want to, I guess, be known as like that. That's the guy who followed God.
Awesome.
Even if he looked silly or dumb or whatever, you know, that's the guy who did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, I want to be remembered as someone who was invested. I think, and that's in anything that she does. And so, for me, is to, for sure, I want to be known as someone who is love, right, and who empowers people. But that's also something that the Lord, that's a characteristic of the Lord. So, as a woman of God, not everybody knows who God is, or not everybody accepts the Lord. So me being able to connect with other people in a manner that the Lord had done in before, I don't know how long, 2,000 years ago, if not longer, but when He was walking on the earth, He represented that and didn't have to say anything. And so I think for me, I want to be that. I want to be that person that walks in a room and am able to inspire, to show love, to embrace those who feel that they don't have people, or that they don't have community, or that they don't have anybody to talk to. I want to be that person. And a lot of times I feel like that doesn't come with a lot of glamorous, like you don't have a title, you're not seen, but I want those people that feel like they're not seen or feel like they're not heard to know that, you know what, you are loved, you are heard. And that's just I want to be the fruit of the Spirit of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And so for me, just being able to represent the Lord without having to say anything, just by my presence, just by my attitude, is what I want to be known as. Someone who brings joy and laughter and all the fruits of the Spirit.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
All right, well, is there anything else that I might have missed, or anything else you want to add?
I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything. Oh, the young adults is ages 18 to 26. I think we said 19 to 26.
Oh,
but it's
sorry.
18 to 26.
18 to 26, got it.
If you're 18, you're alone for a year.
No, you're not alone. You're not alone. 18 to 26. And if you're older than that, we got you.
Again, I think it's because I started going when I was 19, so I was like, oh, I made that connection.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you guys.
Thank you.
This was fun. This is awesome.
Thank you.
And next time on episode 25, we'll see you.